Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Autumn Embers and today I'm not building anything. I'm actually doing a room challenge by Simthrin, and the room challenge is what if you could add any room to your house, what would it be? And I had a little think about it and I was like, ooh, I would love a library. Not because I'm a bookworm, it's mainly because I like the idea and I've thought of one, and I like the aesthetics of books. They make me feel a little bit fancy. And I basically really didn't know where to start. I know I had to put some bookcases in, but I didn't know really what I wanted to look like. And so I went onto Pinterest and typed in old dark libraries. And I don't know how, but I managed to stumble upon a image or photograph of Professor Dumbledore's office. And I was like, oh, this reminds me of the time when me and my sister went to the Warner Brothers Studios in London last year around about Halloween time. And for me, it was my second time going to these studio tours, but for my sister, she practically lives there, because whenever they introduce or open up a new set piece, she has to go and check it out, and so she practically lives there now. But that was my second time going there, and the second time was much more enjoyable and much nicer experience, mainly because the second time around there was half the amount of people that they would normally let in because of COVID, and that meant you can now get close enough to the set pieces or the prop pieces, take a couple of photographs, and it's stormy outside. I got confused, and just have a proper look at these set pieces and then move on without having been pressured to quickly have a look and then move on, because there's so many people around you. There was also some interactive pieces. Last time I went there, like the first time I went there was no way you wouldn't get anywhere near the interactive stuff. But this time you could get near it and play around with it, make it look like you're doing a little bit of magic in the Weasley bar. I'm so sorry if the rain's really loud. I'm right by my window. So as you saw me doing there, I was just making a fake mezzanine level, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if there was some spiraled staircase coming down from my fake mezzanine level? Like, yeah, let's do that. I don't know how to make a spiral staircase, but let's go ahead and do it anyways. So I originally tried to use some shelves and then twist these shelves around using the Twisted Mexi tool mod, but that didn't really work out, mainly because I didn't know what I was doing. And so I was like, okay, let's just go for a method that I know that works, and that's basically using any round rug that we have in the game and then holding down Alt, making sure that I'm on the Sims 3 camera mode, and just holding down Alt so I can freely twizzle my objects to my heart desires to create any curve or swirly, twizzly type thing that I would like, because this is a method that I did or have done before in the past. So I've done this with my wedding venue that I created a couple of years ago for this massive Christmas collab hosted by Ivory M, and I wanted to create this really fancy, spirally, curvy, twirly looking formal hedge garden, and I created all those curves and twirls using this method here. And as you can see here, I'm just lifting the wooden blocks by 2 increments to create this spiral staircase. At this point I was going, this don't look like a spiral staircase, it looks a little bit odd and a little bit not like a spiral staircase. But I was like, let's just go with it, because I don't know how else I'm meant to create a spiral staircase, and I really would like to have one in this space. So I just went for it, and actually it looks like a spiral staircase. I made a spiral staircase and I'm so happy with myself. Okay, it's a non-functional spiral staircase because I made it out using the little wooden blocks that we got from the cottage living pack, But because this is a non-functional staircase going up to my non-functional mezzanine level, I thought it'd be alright. I had to delete some of the walls, well, all the walls around it, because these planks of wood, they like to attach themselves and snap onto the walls. So trying to fit in a spiral staircase was going to be a problem. So I deleted them and then put them back in. I did not delete the walls. So this is the point in the build where I decided that this entire room is not going to be functional, because I already have a set of spiral stairs leading up to my fake mezzanine level, both of which are non-functional. And I was like, let's just make it non-functional, because then this will save me a lot of stress, a lot of time. The time that I would have been using trying to make this entire space functional, I can now use to try and detail this as much as I can before I get annoyed with it, because I didn't just want to plonk down a couple of bookcases and then call it a day. I really wanted to make sure this was really detailed, especially to the fact that this room is not attached to any other rooms. It's not attached to a house. I don't have to split my attention to the other rooms in the house. There's just one singular room that I can now pay all my attention to, and I want to do it justice. And so that's what I decided to do. And because of that, I had a lot of fun doing it, because whatever I was doing, I was like, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't have to be functional. Who cares? So here is where I'm trying to, again, take some inspiration from Dumbledore's office and the photo that I took of Dumbledore's office. And I noticed there was something on the back of Dumbledore's desk, and I couldn't quite make out what it was, but something was attached to it, and I was like, I want something attached to my desk at the back. So I originally was trying to put down some gates, because I've been looking at some of Satie Sims builds, and I absolutely love Satie Sims builds. And I was noticing she was using some gates to achieve some of the details that she wanted around her build. And I was like, ooh, I want to give that a go. And so that's what I decided to do. It didn't look great, so I got rid of it. And I actually found this chest of drawers and kind of shoved it into the back of this desk. However, I do get rid of it later on and use some cats and dogs items, which are the suitcases with a stack of books on top of them, to create this detail for this desk. So the other reason why I wanted to create a study or library actually is because in my head a library is the best place to be cozy in. It's the place where you can read. For me, I'm probably reading a Jack the Ripper magazine, because I'm interested in Jack the Ripper and all that kind of thing. And just to sit down and to be cozy, drinking something hot like a cup of tea or hot chocolate. I don't like drinking hot chocolate, it makes me feel a little bit queasy. Or like some coffee. I can't drink coffee because my body cannot absorb the caffeine by itself. It needs a little bit of help, and most of the time I don't know when I have enough stuff in my stomach. So I tend to stick to tea. So you're sitting in this study area with the many places to sit down in, and you've got a cup of tea in your hand, you're writing in the journal, and you've got like a blanket over you whilst it's raining cats and dogs outside. There's a thunderstorm going on. There's no wind. I hate the wind. After Storm Eunice knocking down one of our trees, I was so paranoid that the tree at the bottom end of our garden, if that fell over, bye-bye house. I was just so on edge because I really, really didn't want that tree to fall over. Although tree that did get knocked over, we do now have a lot of light coming into our garden, so there's an upside, but no wind. I can't take it anymore. No wind, no thank you. But yeah, this is the place just to be really lovely, warm and cozy, and just have a good, cozy, warm time, which is great. Especially for me, because I'm always a person who's always cold, like temperature body wise. My sister's like always joking, like, I think we need to get you some thermals. But yeah, just a little cozy little place just to feel lovely in. So this here is where I was like, oh, because this is kind of inspired by Dumbledore's office, perhaps we could put down some broomsticks. I don't think Dumbledore has the blooms. I think he just sort of like apparates wherever he wants to. But I thought it would be a good idea to put some bloom sticks down, using again the tool mod by Twisted Mexi to turn them up on their end. There's a fly in my room. I hate flies. I hate little flies that get in your face. Yeah, so I put that in the little bucket area. I thought it'd be like a nice idea to put like a magical broomstick next to like a non-magical broomstick, so it's like a normal broomstick. So the magical one could be mistaken for like a normal broomstick. And then we put down some scrolls. They're not towels, they're scrolls. Oh yeah, then we put down my favourite bard that we have in the game. If this was attached to my house and that I actually owned a house, and this was attached to the non-fake house that I own, that bar will not contain alcohol because I don't drink, so it will contain non-alcoholic stuff or tea. Whenever I go down to the supermarket, there is like a is it plugged in my computer? It's plugged in it? Yeah, it's plugged in. Okay. So yeah, whenever I go down to the supermarket, they always have like a little section, like a non-alcoholic section. And in the past recent years, non-alcoholic drinks have gone up, and so there's more non-alcoholic stuff in the supermarket. And whenever I go down to the supermarket with my mum, I'm always looking at it and I actually would like to try some of the non-alcoholic stuff, but a lot of these flavours are like flowery botanical kind of like flavours, and I know myself, I'm not really the fan of like flowery floral botanical flavours. I do have quite a sweet tooth, and I'm just scared that I will buy one of these items and taste it and I won't like it. And it'll just sit in the cupboard, getting all dusty, and it'll be pointless and a complete waste of money. And I don't like that, you know. Whenever I buy something, if it's like, for example, I bought some like setting powder, I accidentally bought the wrong shade. I'm quite pale, and so if it's like slightly too dark, then I'm on my way to look like an Oompa Loompa. But it was slightly too dark, but because it was I bought it, I don't want to not use it. I just have to be sparing about the amount of powder I set my face with. So I don't want to waste stuff, but I'm just scared, you know, because I want to try it. I want to join and be fancy. Here is where again, I'm trying to draw inspiration from Dumbledore's office. For some reason, I didn't actually take a photograph of this area. So this is the area in the Chamber of Secrets, that's 2 words. In the Goblet of Fire, where we see Dumbledore pull out a memory and drop it into this bowl underneath. There is an actual name for it. I cannot remember it. I should have texted my sister before this and tell me, because she is the Potterhead in the family. But this is trying to represent that area. I really wanted some sort of like swirly liquid in this realm of magic goblet type thing that I've got going on. And I thought it'd be perfect if, number one, the cauldron would have worked really well, but that didn't work. I'm not too sure if the liquid in the cauldron actually shrinks down, if you shrink the item down. But I actually found the little goblet type thing that you get from the King Boos or the Spectres. They kind of plop down on a chalice, and that's what I put in the realm of magic thing. So I'm just decorating the space around this bowl of swirly liquid with some books. I decorate this entire place with lots and lots of books. Some of them I stood with the Twisted Mexi tool mod. Everything you see that I pulled out on the grass, I pretty much used apart from that typewriter. I just didn't know where to put it, and there was really nowhere to put it. So put down some of these candles. I know these candles give off some sort of like bluish greenish glow, but if you don't turn them on, they're good. They're alright. They're good to go. So I do put down a lot of these candles. Just don't turn them on. Oh, the wand there, that's trying to represent the Elder Wand that Dumbledore has. Stuff that Dumbledore has on his desk. I tried to put it on this desk here, so I noticed he had a crystal ball. His crystal ball is clear, not orange. I do change the orange to a purple just to sort of mix in with the colours that we do have going on in this place. I spent ages trying to put all these bits and pieces on this desk. I wanted them to be not snapped into the places they want to snap into, so I spent a lot of time moving that desk around. So throughout this build I am using the books from the Realm of Magic pack, which you can find in the debug section of the build and buy, and I'm basically using the tool mod to twist them around so they're now standing upright. I do knock some of them over just to make it a bit more realistic. That sounds been rifling through the books trying to find one, and yeah, this is basically the study/library area. I'm really happy with the way it looks. I love the colours in there, I love the patterns, I like the fact that I mixed some of the patterns together. I noticed that I love the paranormal stuff pack. It was a great buy. I love the stuff in there. And yeah, this is basically it. There's really not much to say about this design, this room, apart from the fact I had a great time. I loved it. Oh, and just before I go, I just want to apologise for the fact because the archway, the stone archway, as I was editing this video, I only just noticed that they are two-toned. So the first archway that I plopped down, that is a darker colour because I managed to change the colour to that, whereas the rest of the stone archways, I forgot to change the colour of them, so they're two-toned. And the curtain that I plopped down in the living room area that I haven't got to quite yet, but I will do later on in this video. And the blue curtain that I plopped down in the living room area behind the desk, I didn't realise at the time, but I only realised this during the screenshots when I was taking them. The curtain has a lovely kid-like pattern to it. It has like a basketball pattern and something else on it. And I was like, oh, well, that's not great, is it? But I kept it and hoping, because I first thought they were leaves. They kind of look like big leaves. But yeah, I think those curtains are supposed to be used in a kid's bedroom. But I like the blue, so I kept them despite that. Because, yeah, they look like leaves, alright? So yeah, this is where I'm going to leave you. Thank you for clicking on this video. We haven't got long to go now. So I'm just going to say thank you, and I hope you enjoy your rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you on the next one. So thank you and goodbye.